Well, guys, as you guys can read by the title, I just said guys twice, but oh well, who even fucking cares? So yeah, I'm going to talk about some interesting times in my life, with YouTube and stuff. Well, not really with YouTube, but these are some really dark times for me that I had to, go through. Now, these are in the early days of me uploading YouTube. Just having to deal with things that life, tells you got to deal with this, man. Nothing you can do, but the only thing you can do is just you're gonna have to deal with it. And that's what life told me. Whether you want to deal with it or not, you've got to accept it. That's life. There's things you don't want to accept, but you got to accept it. Like for us, we don't really want to accept death, but we got to. That's how life is, and we will all eventually die. Everyone dies. That's life. You're born and then you die. When you're old, you die. Well, not necessarily when you're old. You can die at a really, really young age, but just wait till you're really old, please. Yeah. But overall, let's start with the video. So, as you guys know, I started YouTube back in 2017. I'm sorry, 2018. In 7th grade, 13, had some of the most cringiest shit ever. and some of the videos are still up. There's been shit tons of those videos I've taken down. I remember I would go through videos, deleting ones that were not that interesting to me. I felt like they weren't really interesting to the viewers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then a week later, let's see. A week later, my YouTube account got lost. I don't think any of you guys know about. I lost my YouTube account. Tried to delete my animated content account by deleting the whole channel, but it turns out I just needed to change the name. And the reason was because it was actually supposed to be a comment, and it had something to do with the Power Force, saying, "Hey, I used to have that Power Force right there, the 3522, but it wasn't for the 3522. It was for the 3525, which looks like a -6. It's simply just a -6 mixed with a 71Y7. That's all it really is. But they're two totally different vacuums. Well, the same vacuum, but different model. Overall, let's get back to the video. And then I tried to delete it, and everything was gone. Like, no Gmail on my phone. I still had it on my tablet, which is in here. This motherfucker's pretty small. I think it's dead. Yeah, it's dead. I gotta charge it. And then it put me through being really pissed. I cannot remember if it was signed into my school account, which, oh God, don't. But I think it was signed in as guest, and then, I'd been fiddling around trying to see if I can get my accounts back or even have to create a new one, but it turns out next day, my dad didn't really help me, but I kept putting the password in right, but the username was wrong. I kept putting it in wrong. I ended up putting it in right. All my accounts came back. And I would have made videos about losing that account, but that wasn't really that big of a deal, but it did kind of piss me off, like, I loved uploading. What happened? That's something that really made me mad. But overall, there was that. And then 2 weeks later, this was back when I would upload a ridiculous amount of videos in a day. I would upload like video upon video upon video upon video a day. There was this one particular day I didn't go to school for, and that is because, well, we didn't know this had happened, but I never talk about this, or maybe I mentioned it in a video, like one of these more recent videos. I do not know when, but at the time I lost my grandpa. I'm not saying what age, what year he was born, what he died with. I'm just going to say he had passed away. I don't want to give out any more personal information. And then that really put a dark tone into me, you know. It just made me this other fucking guy. Like what Chester Bennington said, I was him, or no, I can't really remember what he said he was, but he stated like, it was like two versions of him. It was like me and then this other fucking guy. That's kind of how it was with me. Like, there was me and then this, like, totally depressed guy. And also the thing that really kind of hurt me at the time was I was into Nirvana and shit, you know? I'll even get to the parts of being in the Nirvana phase in a little bit. But then a week later, but actually a few days later, on a Monday, you know, shit started turning upside down. You know, shit was going upside down. And I was... And this one girl, you know, she screamed at me because I kept tapping on my desk, and it really made me mad and shit, you know. I ended up actually taking my lanyard right here and just wrapping it around my neck. I mean, it was already around my neck, but I was actually trying to tighten it around my neck and just start choking myself. Yeah. Started to choke myself there. Not real good. Yeah, not fun. And then, you know, stuff was still making me mad over time. And then 2 days later, which was on Wednesday, you know, kids were pissing me off and shit on the bus. But that really didn't hurt me at all. It was just bugging me and shit. It didn't really affect me with the death of my grandpa. But then there was the next day, which I cannot get this day out of my head. It is a day that's stuck in my head forever. And now I gotta see it pretty worse now because this person, I'm not gonna mention her name, but you guys have heard her name. You can take a guess in the comments, but no matter what, if you get the wrong answer, I'll still heart your comment. But since I'm now in I'm still in the same school district, but different high school than she goes to, it's kind of hit me a little harder because I'm not going to see her anymore. It's like that. But this was in 7th grade. I was already going through a hard time. I got pranked saying that she was going to go to a new school. Even the teacher did it, and and two of her friends did it. No, I could not accept that. And like I said, I was into Nirvana at the time. And you want to know what? I started to just have a tantrum. I was just raging and shit. And I even was making threats to kill myself. Saying, I want to be Mr. Suicide. I want that to be my name. And I even tried choking myself. I think I tried choking myself. And I almost started crying in that class. Because, you know, shit was going downhill. You know, and then even with my social skills teacher, even though I'm going to go a little bit off topic, but 2 months later in December, she said, well, who cares if she's going to who cares if this girl's at another school? And I'm like, whoa, it was not that girl at that other school, it was a girl who goes here. And then, you know, March came, and then I said, but it really hit me harder because, you know, I was already going through a hard time. And then what that did just made everything worse. And like I told you guys already, I was in my Nirvana phase, and I already said this like tons of fucking times. I was in my Nirvana phase. All right. So being in my Nirvana phase meant, wow, you're thinking of yourself as Kurt Cobain, you know, doing anything you want to do. Yeah, pretty much. And then she left the class. I'm like, goodbye. Goodbye, you know, because shit was going downhill, you know. Then I was told it was a prank. I'll tell you, I was not happy for the rest of the fucking day. I wasn't happy. And you want to know the thing? The next day, you know, I got over it. I didn't really get over it. It still kind of pissed me off and stuff. Because, you know, they just did something to me that made me really mad. And the next day, she wasn't there. Yeah, she wasn't there. She wasn't there at school. Like, oh, wow. So the weekend came. Okay. Still going through the hard, lifetime, This is change. This is something different. Let's see. Things were going smoothly this weekend. Then Monday comes. She's on the bus. I see her again on the bus. And then, I'm going to go off topic again. And then I see her in the gym. She looks at me. She's like a row in front of me. Turn my head to her. And I just turn it away. Just looking at, am I looking at her? Am I just having an illusion? Is my mind playing tricks on me? Nope. No. Thank God. Yeah. And then the day I was having even threats on myself saying I want to kill myself and stuff because stuff was making me a little bit mad in the morning, on the bus. And then there came the next week. This was with one of my friends, not saying names. I don't really want to mention names. He was messing with me on the phone and kept saying this is Verizon Wireless and shit. This wasn't Daniel. Well, it was another Daniel, not Daniel who has Spider-Man content or Mac Tonight, which is the name now. It's not that Daniel. It's another Daniel. But overall, even though I said I wouldn't mention names, so I was like, fuck it, whatever. And I ended up actually choking myself for I don't know how long, but I kept on doing this right now. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on me, but my face is starting to turn purple, but I don't know how long I did this, but I actually, I did it like this. That's how I did it. That's how I did it. And I was just straight up pissed the next morning, which was actually a pep rally for my school. And actually that whole week, I was so depressed. I'll tell you, really, really depressed. Because that was the week I was this guy who felt like a Kurt Cobain wannabe. I don't mean by this guy who wants to dress up and sing like Kurt Cobain, but this guy who wants to have the feelings of Kurt Cobain. And I would imagine myself being in a band, being found in these rooms, and all of a sudden, I'm supposed to be in this school, doing a little concert in the gym, and the next thing you know, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm either found in a room. I'm found in a room either dead or passed out. And then I would even imagine myself smoking cigs, not being in a band, but just being by myself, then getting caught by some kids' parents. Yeah, like that. Shit was going really hard on me at that time. I wasn't the same guy anymore. I wasn't Jake anymore. I was this other fucking guy that week. And then, next day was the pep rally. I'll tell you, I was just done that day. And then the next day, still depressed and shit. And the next day, my other friend Daniel, he felt bad for me. Not Daniel, who's Spider-Man content or the original animator content. Not that one, another Daniel. But he felt pretty bad. And I have accepted his apology, which is good. And just flat out still made the threats on the bus. And then my dad got a call from someone because the bus driver reported that I was talking about killing myself. And then over the weekend we had my grandpa's memorial service. And Monday, I'll tell you, when we came back from the weekend, I was straight out not having it in first period. I even broke down in tears in first period, and then it was just pretty emotional, It was really emotional, I just came from a stressful weekend. Kids are pissing me off and stuff. Shit was going real bad. You know, at the time, that was the time I wanted to end my life, for real. I have considered killing myself. For real. I have considered doing that. No joke. I've considered doing it. And then, you know, I've had a talk with the counselors, talk to them about it. You know, they got me through this. You know, thanks to my counselor, I got through this. So, yeah. And then, you know, the rest of the week, I started feeling like myself again. And then the next week, I got the Greg and Jeff doll. And then when I got into that Wiggles phase, which this will be the next video, when I got into that Wiggles phase, it turned me back into the Jake I was. You know, the Jake that they remembered, that my whole family remembered, was this boy who loved the Wiggles, loved to watch TV, which everyone loves to watch TV, but really was the boy who loved vacuums. But I wasn't into vacuums at that time. I actually almost got into a vacuum phase at that time. But that's actually how I discovered Intelitech Studio, surprisingly. And I'm surprised when I saw that his power going video, I'm like, that name sounds familiar. So yeah. Overall, put me back into the Jake who I was. And, you know, I came back the next semester, you know, that was last semester, really dark and depressing. It's time we move on. And then there are other more depressing times, but I don't need to talk about them. This was just really some of the dark times that happened to me, you know, during my YouTube career. But I didn't make videos discussing about it. I just wanted to make a video about it right now. You know, just because. So, now I'm just going to say this. If you suffer from depression and you have considered killing yourself, I know I didn't put a number in the description below, but if you have someone, if you or someone is considering suicide, you know, search up a phone number for your area. I don't know if all these hotlines have the same number, but like just look up a number for like the suicide prevention phone number is what I'm trying to say. But I didn't have to go through one of those phone numbers. I just had to have a talk with a counselor. But if you are considering suicide or someone in your family is considering suicide, talk to a therapist, talk to a counselor. If you're still in school, talk to them and see if they can get you through it, or call suicide prevention hotline. So yeah. Now, like as always, please stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you guys later. And this is the longest video I've ever had. Well, my live streams don't count, but this is the longest video I've recorded for you guys to view, surprisingly. So yeah. Anyways, see you guys later. Bye.